In this presentation, we will be covering fertilizers within sports turf. First of all, what are the legal and regulatory requirements which may affect us while fertilizing? We have PURE, the Provision and Use of Work Equipment, 1998. COSH, 2002, which is Control of Substances Hazardous to Health. Health and Safety at Work Act, 1974. Manual Handling Regulations, 1992. The Environment Act, 2021. The Road Traffic Act, 1988. And Wildlife and Countryside Act, 1981. Now, this is not an extensive list. There may also be others which you may need to consider depending on your application and workplace. An introduction to fertilizers. So fertilizers play a crucial role in maintaining the health and quality of sports turf surfaces. Understanding the environmental, regulatory and scientific aspects of a fertilizer application is essential for effective turf management. So what are fertilizers? Fertilizers are concentrated sources of plant nutrients, usually in compact forms such as pellets, granules, powders or liquids. They are used to improve plant health, growth and yields. When we talk about yields, I'm talking more about seeding in farms, for example, where you would want to grow more seeds with a particular type of plant, turf, for example, and you would want more crop of that, so you could obviously then sell more seed to suppliers. You may see fertilizers with lots of different names: weeds and feeds, pre-turf germination fertilizers, liquids, granulars, organic, synthetic, coated or slow release. We will go over a few more of these in the next few slides. How do fertilizers work? Nutrients play vital roles in the growth and health of sports turf, affecting various aspects such as root growth, development, leaf growth, photosynthesis, and overall plant vigor. Over the next few slides, I'll break down the key nutrients found in fertilizers and how they affect turf. First of all, though, we need to know what NPK is. NPK on a fertilizer packaging refers to the three primary nutrients essential for plant growth. We have nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. So we can see the two bags on the right. We have the numbers highlighted. So the first bag is 21, 8, 11. 21 being 21 parts nitrogen, 8 parts phosphorus, and then 11 parts potassium. I'll go on to later on what is in the rest of the bag, but those are the main ingredients. There may also be micronutrients within that packaging, but those will be broken down underneath. These are the main numbers that you're going to be looking for in most fertilizer bags or liquids. These three elements are typically represented by the three numbers on the fertilizer packaging, including the percentage by weight of each nutrient in the fertilizer formulation. For example, a fertilizer labeled as 10-10-10 would contain 10% nitrogen, 10% phosphorus, and 10% potassium by weight. Before going to each individual nutrient, I just want to mention that on the right, we have the nitrogen symbol, which we'll typically see on a periodic table. I just wanted to point out two parts which are really important, potentially three actually. Obviously the N, each element will have its own coding. So for example, nitrogen is N. Will also have its own atomic number, which will be in the top right. These will be specific to each individual nutrient or element. And then below the N, you will see the atomic weight. The atomic weight will be different for every single element on the periodic table. So just important information to keep in mind. Nitrogen. Nitrogen is essential for chlorophyll production, which is crucial for photosynthesis and overall plant growth. It promotes vigorous leaf and stem growth, resulting in a dense and lush turf. Nitrogen also helps in the synthesis of proteins, enzymes, and other essential compounds required for plant metabolism. Proper nitrogen application can enhance turfgrass color, density, and recovery from stress, contributing to the overall quality of a sports turf surface. When to apply nitrogen? There's not necessarily a bad time, but there's also better times that you can apply nitrogen. Spring and summer, for example, nitrogen is crucial during these seasons as turfgrass is actively growing and requires ample nutrients for the leaf and stem development. Spring applications of nitrogen can promote lush green growth and help the turf recover from winter dormancy. In summer, nitrogen supports healthy growth and helps turfgrass withstand stress like heat and foot traffic. In the autumn, applying nitrogen encourages vigorous root growth and helps the turf store energy reserves for the winter. It also enhances turf recovery from summer stresses as it prepares for winter dormancy. In winter, nitrogen rates should be reduced, increasing in other nutrients such as iron for colour and root development rather than leaf growth, as the plant growth will be slowed. Phosphorus. Phosphorus plays a crucial role in root development and overall plant energy transfer. It promotes strong root growth, which is essential for anchoring turf and improving drought resistance. Phosphorus is involved in various metabolic processes, including photosynthesis, energy transfer, and cell division. Adequate phosphorus levels contribute to an improved turf establishment and better stress tolerance and overall plant health. When to apply phosphorus? Early season, phosphorus is beneficial during early spring when turf grass is breaking dormancy and initializing root growth. Adequate phosphorus promotes strong root development, which is essential for nutrient uptake and overall plant turf health. During the establishment phase, so if you've recently returfed or you've recently seeded area, this will help promote rapid root development and establishment and early shoot development. Potassium. Potassium helps regulate various physiological processes in plants, including water uptake, osmotic regulation, and enzyme activation. It enhances turfgrass tolerance to drought, diseases, and environmental stresses. Potassium contributes to the overall strength and rigidity of plant tissue, reducing the likelihood of lodging or damage under heavy foot traffic. It also supports root growth and nutrient uptake efficiency, improving the turf's ability to utilize available resources. When to apply potassium? Potassium becomes particularly important during the summer when turfgrass faces stresses such as heat, drought, and disease pressure. Adequate potassium levels enhance turfgrass tolerance to these stresses, promoting overall health and vigor. Autumn applications of potassium may help prepare the turfgrass for winter dormancy and improve cold tolerance. Calcium and magnesium. These secondary macronutrients are essential for cell wall formation, structural integrity, and overall plant health. Calcium helps maintain proper soil pH, which influences nutrient availability and uptake within the soil and the plant. Magnesium is a central component of chlorophyll, essential for photosynthesis and carbohydrate production. Adequate levels of calcium and magnesium contribute to an improved turf vigor, stress tolerance, and nutrient utilization efficiency. When to apply magnesium and calcium? Throughout the year, calcium and magnesium are essential for turfgrass year-round. Calcium helps maintain those cell wall structures and soil acidity, while magnesium helps central component of chlorophyll. Both nutrients contribute to the overall turf vigor and stress tolerance of the turf. Sulfur. Sulfur is essential for the synthesis of amino acids, proteins, and vitamins within the plant. It plays a crucial role in chlorophyll formation and overall plant metabolism. Sulfur helps improve turf color, vigor, and stress tolerance, particularly under low nitrogen conditions. Adequate sulfur levels contribute to balanced turf nutrient uptake and optimal turfgrass growth. When to apply sulfur? Again, this is another sort of year-round as and when required. However, sulfur deficiencies may be more pronounced in alkaline soils or during periods of low rainfall when sulfur leaching is more likely. Iron. Iron is crucial for chlorophyll synthesis, which is essential for photosynthesis. Iron deficiencies will lead to yellowing of leaves. Manganese. Manganese is involved in photosynthesis, enzyme activation, and nitrogen metabolism within the plant. Zinc. Zinc plays a crucial role in enzyme activation, protein synthesis, and hormone regulations. Copper. Copper is involved in enzyme activation and plays a role in lignin formation. Copper deficiencies can result in wilting and reduced growth. Boron. Boron is essential for cell wall formation, pollen germination, and sugar transport. Molybdenum. Molybdenum is crucial for nitrogen metabolism, particularly in the conversion of nitrates to amino acids. Chlorine. Chlorine is involved in the photosynthesis and osmotic regulation. Nickel. Nickel plays a role in nitrogen metabolism and urease activity. Micronutrients. Although required in smaller quantities, micronutrients are essential for various enzymatic activities, hormone synthesis, and overall plant function. They play crucial roles in photosynthesis, nutrient uptake, and stress response mechanisms. Micronutrient deficiencies can lead to various turfgrass disorders affecting colour, growth, and overall turf health. Proper micronutrient management ensures the optimal turf performance and longevity, especially in high-stress environments like sports fields. Now, it's very unlikely that applying one particular nutrient will make an overall difference to the sports turf, but dependent on your site, you might have a soil which leaches one of these particular nutrients. But overall, your main three are your nitrogen, potassium, and phosphorus. Those are the ones which are going to have the most effect on a particular plant. These are more of a secondary nutrient. They will likely already be in the soil in good quantities. It will just be a matter of making those accessible to the plant. For example, changing calcium levels might make these nutrients available. When to apply micronutrients, these are pretty much as and when required, dependent on the soil conditions, turfgrass species, environmental factors. Deficiencies or imbalances in micronutrients can occur at any time of the year and may require corrective measures through foliar or soil applications. Now, the ways you can check for these deficiencies are during soil tests, which can be sent off to a lab, be analysed, and then sent back to you with the data telling you which nutrients you require. So what is in the rest of the package? As we mentioned earlier, this 10-10-10 has nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium in those three 10s. Actually, the picture on the right says 10-26-26, but it will be the same process. But the remainder of the portion of the bag, all liquid, would consist of insert ingredients or carriers. These insert ingredients can include materials such as fillers, binders, or coatings. These carriers help distribute or activate the nutrients evenly and facilitate the application. The specific composition of an insert ingredient can vary dependent on the formulation and manufacture of that particular fertilizer. They are typically non-nutritive substances added to improve handling, storage, or application characteristics of that particular fertilizer. Types of fertilizer within sports turf, as I mentioned earlier, there's quite a few different types, but the main ones are granular, slow release or quick release, liquid, organic, specialist fertilizers, or blended fertilizers. Granular fertilizers are solid, dry formulas typically applied using a spreader. They come in various particle sizes and release mechanisms, including slow release, controlled release, and quick release. Slow release granular fertilizers gradually break down over time, providing the nutrients to the turfgrass slowly and steadily, usually preferred in most cases because of their long-lasting effects and reduced risk of nutrient leaching. Controlled release granular fertilizers are coated to control the rate of nutrient release, offering a more precise nutrient delivery and extensive feeding periods. Quick release granular fertilizers dissolve rapidly upon contact with the moisture, providing immediate nutrient boosts to the turfgrass, as they are most commonly used for quick green-ups and to address nutrient deficiencies. Liquid fertilizers are concentrated solutions that can be easily mixed with water and applied as a spray. They offer quick nutrient absorption and ideal for foliar feeding or addressing specific nutrient deficiencies. Liquid fertilizers are often used for rapid nutrient uptake, especially during periods of stress when quick results are desired. They are also suitable for spoon feeding, where small, frequent applications provide nutrients to the turfgrass as needed without excessive growth stimulation. Organic fertilizers. Organic fertilizers are derived from natural sources such as plant and animal byproducts, compost, or other organic material. They provide nutrients in slow release form and provide soil health and microbial activity. Organic fertilizers promote sustainable turf management practices and are less likely to cause environmental harm or nutrient runoff. They do help build organic matter. This can be a positive or negative dependent on your situation. If you've got a sand-based golf green, for example, you might not want organic matter. Same for as in a stadium environment. But if you've got an open sports field, you might want some organic matter within that profile to help hold on to some moisture within the soil. This also enhances soil structure, improve water retention, and will lead to healthier turfgrass and reduce dependence on synthetic inputs. Specialty fertilizers, typically synthetic, are formulated to address specific turfgrass needs such as winterizing or disease resistance and enhance colour. Winterizing fertilizers typically have higher potassium contents to strengthen turfgrass against cold temperatures and reduce winter stress. Fertilizers with added micronutrients or biostimulants can improve turfgrass health, stress tolerance, and overall performance. Some specialty fertilizers may also contain herbicides or pesticides for the combined fertilization and pest control applications. So this is earlier on when I spoke about that sort of weed and feed fertilizer, that all in one. Blended fertilizers. Fertilizers combine different nutrient sources to provide a balanced nutrient profile tailored to a specific turfgrass needs or soil conditions. They may contain a mixture of granular, liquid, or synthetic compounds to address various nutrient requirements and application preferences. Applications of fertilizers. When applying fertilizers to sports turf, it's essential to follow the manufacturer's recommendations regarding application rates, timings, and equipment calibration. Proper calibration and application techniques can ensure the uniform coverage, maximization of nutrient uptake, and minimize the risk of environmental impacts or turf damage. Additionally, applicators should consider factors such as weather conditions, turfgrass species, soil types, and management goals when determining the most appropriate fertilization strategy. Granular fertilizers can be applied with one of these four methods. So we have a broadcast spreader, for example. Typically on the top right here, we have a dogleg broadcast spreader. We have drop spreaders as the bottom right. We have rotary spreaders, which will have a disc and will fire the fertilizers. And we have handheld spreaders, which can be a mixture of the three. Liquid fertilizers, typically within sports turfs, are sprayed, applied with any sort of spraying or boom sprayer, whether it's tractor mounted or pedestrian on the bottom right hand side. There is other types such as injection systems or subsurface injection. However, this is less likely to be used within England because of the tight environmental regulations. Adding a fertilizer, for example, to an irrigation system may cause harm to the environment, dependent on where that water comes from or where it goes. Finally, for those doing the level 2 sports turf qualification, this is task 1. So calibrate and apply one material to a sports turf surface. This is where fertilizer comes into it. The material will be decided by the EPAO in conjunction with the employer prior to the EPA. The application should be over a surface of at least 100 square meters, and this task will take at least 45 minutes. You will be asked various questions, including what each nutrient does to the turfgrass plant, what NPK means, what fillers are, and how to apply that within the EPA practical.